What's going on, everyone? Joe Fnac Sports back here with a video about a team that could be pretty scary in the playoffs. With just one very important game left against the Tennessee Titans in the regular season, it looks like the Jaguars will most likely win the AFC South and make the postseason for the first time since 2017 when a Blake Bortles-led football team almost beat my Patriots. I was going to actually make this video around week 4 to 5, but I scrapped it because after their 2-1 start, we all know what happened. So that video was never made, but here we are again. But before I actually get into this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated, helps me out more than you know. Now, let's get right into why the Jaguars could be a surprising force in the AFC playoffs. Jacksonville sits at 8-8 before the Week 18 deciding matchup against Tennessee. I'm quite surprised they're even in this position, because before their Week 11 bye, they were 3-7, meaning that they went 1-6 after that 2-1 start, and they were in contention for a top 5 pick in the NFL draft again. But they went on a 5-1 run with convincing wins against teams like Baltimore, Tennessee, and Dallas. A lot of this has to do with the team's chemistry. Trevor Lawrence and his receivers just look like they are always on the same page. Like Christian Kirk, for example. Kirk always finds a way to get into open space when the pocket collapses on Lawrence, and he has to escape. Christian Kirk has been an amazing addition to this team, totaling over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns in his first year in Duval County. However, he's not the only good pass catcher on this team. Zay Jones and tight end Evan Engram have also been amazing offseason additions, both hovering around 800 yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns. These three guys are very reliable and always seem to help out Trevor when needed. And I just said Evan Engram and reliable. For you Giants fans, you know that's not true. But Engram's catch percentage has gone up 12.3% than his average with the Giants. Crazy, right? This offense in general is fun to watch when it is on. Now I want to take a look at this 5-1 run they've had. Against Baltimore, a top 3 scoring defense, they put up 28 points in a 1-point victory, where Trevor had 3 touchdowns, while the running game couldn't really do anything. In a 36-22 win over the Titans, Trevor had 4 total touchdowns in another very efficient game. Lastly, against Dallas, Lawrence had 4 touchdowns and 1 interception, his third 300-yard game of this run, and Zay Jones had 109 yards and 3 scores receiving in that game. The last 2 weeks have been a different story. It's been Travis Etienne, JaMychal Hasty, and the other running backs on offense, with the run game totaling over 145 yards in each game, specifically mostly from Travis Etienne. This offense can stay with any team scoring, as they have the 11th most points in the league. Trevor's efficient play this year has been the main reason, as well as Travis Etienne's second year, basically first year breakout. The dual threat of this offense can keep games close in the playoffs, as well as potentially blow out a team if it all works out. Although they have had their offensive inconsistencies, especially as of late, this unit is cohesive and can do some damage with Doug Peterson as their coach. The pre-snap motions, forcing mismatches, the West Coast style, and finally feeling like a group rather than one guy trying to do it all makes them a much more efficient offense. One thing they're great at is making a play seem like it's one thing, then having the motion and it's a completely different thing that just confuses the defense, leading to big plays down the field. So far this year, the team ranks 9th in offensive DVOA, 8th in passing DVOA, and 19th in rushing. If we look at last year with Urban Meyer, those numbers drop down to 27th, 30th, the rushing goes up a rank, but down 2.9%. Peterson's scheme has led them to a top 11 standing in every major offensive category. Trevor's growth in year 2 has a lot to do with Peterson. This evolution reminds me of Peyton Manning, as both had very similar turnover-prone numbers in their rookie years, came back in big ways their second season in the league. While the Colts had a much better record, the development is similar. I'm not saying Trevor is going to be like Peyton Manning, I'm just saying it's a similar growth from year 1 to 2. Calm down, Michael Kennedy. Trevor so far has 3,901 yards, 24 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing, and 14 total turnovers, as well as a PFF passing grade of 72.9, which is 13th in the league, the 6th lowest interception percentage at 1.4. There's actually an argument that he has played like a top 10 quarterback this year, if you ask the right people. And those right people are everyone that thought he'd be a generational prospect, which is about everyone. This more efficient play out of Lawrence is one of the main reasons why I think they could be scary in the playoffs. if you have Trevor Lawrence playing his best, which he basically has been all year, he can stay up there with any quarterback, which I will get to later in the two teams that they could face. And although I would love to talk about Trevor and the offense the whole time, the defense has done its part to be a mostly average unit. Currently, they rank 12th in points allowed, 11th in rushing, and tied 5th for turnovers and turnover percentage. They do allow a ton of passing yards though, and that is clearly their biggest downfall. That's even with the breakouts of players like cornerback Tyson Campbell and safety Rayshon Jenkins in the secondary. Jenkins has been pretty inconsistent as a safety for this team, but at times he has looked amazing. While Campbell has been great all year with a PFF coverage grade of 79.3, which is 7th in the league. He's a second-year player, picked 33rd overall in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Trevor Lawrence and ETN draft, and has come alive this season as one of the surprising breakout players on this Jacksonville defense. You probably haven't heard much about him. That's because, he is in Jacksonville, but he's also not throwing the ball a lot, so that might be why. But the rest of this defense, or should I say secondary, has not been great. You have Darius Williams who hasn't been good, Andre Sisco's been fine at safety, and Shaquille Griffin's been hurt. But the great part of this defense is their run defense. Josh Allen, believe it or not, is ranked as the best edge defender against the run. Devon Hamilton and Ray Robertson Harris have done their part on the inside of the D-line as well. Trayvon Walker's had a weird rookie season, but he has been okay as a rookie, as he is a developmental prospect. There is another rookie defender though, Devin Lloyd. He's been pretty disappointing. He started the year off pretty well, but he hit the rookie wall midway through the season and really has not been the same. His partner in crime in this linebacking duo, Foyesade Olukun, and I'm sorry if I butchered that, has played pretty well though. He's decent enough in almost every aspect of being a linebacker, leading the league in tackles, which can be a misleading stat but is definitely still worth noting. Having him on this defense has been good, because it gives them a veteran leader who can help out Devin Lloyd develop, someone who can make a tackle when needed, and his league-leading 67 stops among linebackers would tell you that too. But overall, this defense is not bad. It basically just gets the job done and not much else, at least in the passing game. They have made some big plays though, like the game-winning overtime pick 6 against Dallas, as well as creating a ton of turnovers in general, as I mentioned earlier. The turnovers they create can win playoff games alone. And a lot of these, surprisingly, are created by the pressure they bring on the quarterback. While they are bottom of the league in sacks, they are top 4 in pressure percentage, top 3 in hurry percentage, and first in QB knockdowns. This sort of stuff just causes the quarterback to have to get rid of the ball quickly and make errant throws, leading to momentum-shifting turnovers to give Trevor Lawrence and the offense the ball and pretty easily go down the field and score. You may be asking, how does a team that barely has a 500 record possibly be scary in the playoffs? Well, there are a few simple answers to that. The first is that they are guaranteed a home playoff game, and we all know how much home games matter in the playoffs because you have your crowd behind you and you're playing for them. But another will be favorable matchups for Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and the rest of the offense. As of right now, their wildcard matchup is against the Los Angeles Chargers in Jacksonville, a team they smacked down in Week 3, 38-10. The Chargers have always been inconsistent, as any Brandon Staley coached team should be. Fire him, please. They lose very winnable games and barely win some games that they should blow teams out of the park in, like Denver, Cleveland, and Arizona. The main reason I love this matchup for Jacksonville is because Travis Etienne can have a field day against a team that allows 5.4 yards per carry, the worst in the league. Yes, they did get Joey Bosa back, but he's never been the best run defender. While he still can help out, he's not the best. The Chargers are definitely a scary team though. This is a very winnable game for Doug Peterson and crew. Doug Peterson has a lot of playoff experience as a coach, winning a Super Bowl with Philly against the Patriots, whatever. The last time they played, Trevor did have 3 touchdowns, and the running game did pretty well. We also know the Chargers to come up short in big moments, as we've seen the last couple of seasons, so I would not be surprised if it happens again. There is also a chance that they play Baltimore, who they did just beat. Lamar will be coming back from injury, but there's still nobody to throw to besides Mark Andrews. Not that that's really affected them. But Mark hasn't really played great outside of one game in his past 9 games. He He had 4 with Lamar and 5 with Huntley. However, the Ravens' defense has been pretty good. 3rd in points allowed, 3rd in rushing, but their passing defense is 24th. While it has been due to injuries, Marlon Humphrey has also not been the same. It's a tale of 2 different styles of football depending on who they play, ground and pound or air it out. Either way, I think Jacksonville gets a favorable offensive matchup against either team. Their offense is balanced, so they can do either depending on the game script. While the Ravens' defense is a lot better than the Chargers, I think, given how their secondary has been really inconsistent this year, Trevor Lawrence could definitely air it out against that team and lead them to a win to bring them to divisional round. I really like their chances to make it to the divisional round and scare the team they play then. Whether it's Kansas City, Cincy, or Buffalo, they could put some fear into the hearts of their fans because Trevor Lawrence can keep it close. LA and Baltimore are not perfect teams by any metric. Both have lost to the Jaguars this year, have had their weaknesses exposed multiple times, even in wins. So saying Jacksonville can take them down with their home crowd cheering them on is not outlandish. This clean, cohesive group that they have on offense is enough to win a playoff game, probably scare their divisional opponent, and show fans why they should be excited for years to come. Trevor and the Jags are kind of here, and will only continue to get better into next season, and my God, should teams be scared for this young Jacksonville squad. And with all that being said, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning into Fanatics Sports. If you made it this far in the video, come on, just give it a like and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated, helps me out more than you know. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram at FanaticSports25 and on Twitter and TikTok at Fanatics Sports. This is Joe of Fanatics Sports, signing off.